Greetings, everybody. I'm just chillaxing and just a little information pertaining to the higher vibration on the planet. We're going to start seeing a lot more of um, paranormal activity, okay? This is for those who can see it, as I'm seeing this video with Yaya, indicating that the cats, animals, especially cats and dogs, have a type of sixth sense. Like, they can see into the spiritual realm and they can hear things we don't hear. So I've had quite a few encounters in that early. I didn't want to talk about it, but I've always from a child had a spiritual eye to see into the astral plane. And so those monitoring spirits think that they are powerful. Just know that they're not. A lot of people being so bold and cold for a very long time are now caught in a catch 22 oxymoron situation that they're trying to maneuver me, knowing I'm so powerful, and me waking up and seeing that for my own self, bearing witness to it with my own two eyes, and from earlier having a whole bunch of visions like out the wazoo, okay, that I did not know to that degree how in-depthly gifted I am. And so me being of a special interest, being watched, we were considered on this planet prisoners from earlier visions, now all adding up to make sense that they had like some sort of a energetic, what do you call it? Like a type of, like a boot on us, but an energetic, when you stay home and they actually give you, I'm trying to get the word because they think they're trying to make me forget right now, but I'm not familiar with that term. So I'm going to just tell you that it's like a bracelet they put around the leg. And so if you stay home and you're on, house arrest, they had something like that I saw when I was living in the Bronx. And Baba Yanun, Dr. Malachi York, was guiding us from the astral plane as he's Papa, Heavenly Father, Baba, Master Yanun, His Excellency. And he used to visit me in my dreams from a 9-year-old. And in that particular time, when I first seen him, he was guiding me as a black Etherian in the dark. And I basically was walking on emeralds, and everywhere carefully on the rock, the emeralds underneath my feet, as he was guiding me and holding my hand, similar to the Diablo movie when Lilith was birthed in the hell realms, and she was in between three statues as a temple that is a gateway. It says on YouTube, and it said, "Help us, Mother." Well, that's similar to what happened. I am also a manifestation of Nunet and Agduad, Nunet, Asset, Isis, Gene Isis, Geneticist, Gene Isis, Genesis, the first female. And I used to always question, my name is Nin Aswadu El, meaning black, Aswad, in Amam. And then Nin Aswadu El means the black, goddess. That's in the Amam, Ancient Mystic Order of Melchizedek, the acronym Amam. And then my ancient Commission name, not Egyptian only, but my ancient Commission name is Noon. Noon means chaotic waters, black light. Asset, the order of Set, with me included, meaning a set, meaning two. Two, me and my husband. So a lot of us don't realize that I am, as I was told, Ninti, Mother Noontat, TT, Nin Aswadu El, Triple Darkness, Ebony, Ebony, Nin Aswadu El, Aswad, meaning black, Aswadu, meaning all black, black light, and then Nunet, Re Atum. Atum is a position of the sun in 4 quarters. Atum Re, the beginning of light coming up in the morning, the horizon of sunrise, Atun Ray, the highest of that point, as the 12 noon, Amun Ray, sunset, and then Anun Ray, underworld. The 4 points of the sun in ancient Commission culture. Now, what we don't realize is that when we say sunrise on our eulogy cards of our family members that pass on, we say that's their sunrise, their birth, when they were born, the beginning. And then sunset is when they pass on, when they go home and they pass on, they die. Now, to pass on means that we die, meaning we translate, because it's so final, we don't get to see them again. For me, as a child, I was able to see, having a seeing eye, activated, very frightened as a child, able to see movement around me. So when I was about 9 years old, listening to the True Light tape with Baba, chanting the 99 attributes of Allah, I had that vision similar to the movie Billie Jean Is Not My Lover and Michael Jackson stepping on the concrete and it's lighting up. I was in pitch black darkness, pretty much my size. As a black Etherian, the most powerful is not only soul, but we are Etherians that are that color. All colors make black. So that's the most powerfulest, most potent Etherian. As on the big-headed scientist, there's a video with a cosmic mother that's pretty much similar to me, but I asked questions in isolation, and I had a lot of hints from earlier that I am Ninti, Mother Ninti, TT. And so, basically what I'm saying in a nutshell is these monitoring spirits that really are not powerful at all, but want to fake, and like Yaya said on the video, a lot more that we're able to see is in the astral plane because it's now 7D. So things that we weren't able as earthlings to see before, some of us that are that spiritually astute and mature, that our vibration being that high is going to expose us to be able to see a lot more than we were before. Please do not be alarmed. Stay poised and know that they cannot touch you, and don't be afraid. Be afraid of nothing at all. There's a saying that says, fear itself, meaning like there's nothing, just logic and reason, and putting everything. 7-Eleven was on my timer right here. As a synchronized perfection, I'm able to see everywhere. Whatever I talk about in here, I turn on the TV and I get instant alignment. So we are in that 7D now, and those who are not that vibration, under, natural law, this is a planet that governs for grace, for us to be able to experience heaven now here. But if it's not your vibe and you did not follow to integrate your shadow, doing shadow work, and it's just something you don't want to do, one thing you're sure of is when you're born here in your zero time reference, that's already planned on. If you have enough time to satisfy karma, your zero time reference is the date that you are scheduled from being born down here to die. If you do not satisfy karma, meaning to pass away, and this time was a great opportunity to heal and integrate for forgiveness and to learn to love and put God and the ancestors of us giving guidance as angelic beings, that I am also an archangelic being, and I'm God, goddess. I'm told I'm the woman king with the most high. Noon, Noonet, Ya Noon, Ya Noon Tat. So I got a lot of answers for my soul honorarily in isolation that's not pertaining to anybody else. It would be only significant for me. And because of that, a lot more was revealed to me. So we are in a multi-dimensional time now that I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff in my apartment. I made a smoothie yesterday and I didn't splatter it, but it was splattered in like the movie Lucy. It was splattered in my apartment. It's very, very potently powerful in here. But it was splattered in my butter I melted to make my eggs. And I knew I'm very cognizant and very detailed oriented. I knew I didn't make that mess. I'm very careful and very neat in my place. And so I realized, it's like the energy is floating around in here. Like the balance of everything is collapsing from the other realms. And significantly, I'm seeing, like last night walking in the building, I saw a rock that was in the doorway, but the sister that went in before me, I didn't follow behind her because I was talking, to my family. And I noticed, it tripped me out. I was like, oh my God. Is she looked down and she saw a rock there, but it wasn't there when she went. The door was closed. So you can hear when somebody pulls the knob for it to go click and open, as in, a door slamming, or, you can hear the latch on it when you turn the knob, the latch on it, you can hear when it's open, when she put the key in, it's electrified. So it buzzes you in. It's electric. So when she opened the door, she looked down and she was in shock. So the rock was there. And when the guy downstairs that lives on the first floor, he said he lost his keys when he came up to me, but the rock wasn't there earlier. So we are fading in and out of realities. Something similar happened in my apartment again with me putting and lighting on the charcoals, incense, the rocks, and a rock just from the lighting of it appeared on my arm. It floated there. So, don't trip out. And for me, around me, I'm going to see a lot more because I have a keen eye and I understand the matrix. So everything having to do with the matrix, as long as your vibration is high and you are working on yourself actively to alchemize and integrate positively your shadow work, whatever ugly parts of you don't like, don't wear no mask, don't lie to yourself. That's the worst treason on the videos of YouTube that you could ever do to oneself, is to lie about who you are. If you were an effed up person, just own it and say, you know what, I need help. And once you call on the Most High, there was a saying, or the highest, female, male, that if you ask for help from the most merciful, then you get it. It's in the air. The consciousness of God is omnipresently in the air, the vibration. And those of us who are in tune with the frequency are in tune with the universe, right? And so that consciousness is so vast, we can't fathom unless we're tapped into it, that we're in tune and linked in to be able to give these informations. So the information is the data that gives guidance from the omniscience. That omniscience helps us when we ask. It must abide, or we must be in tune to be able to hear the guidance as already in the air everywhere on the videos. Everybody understands, understands, and understands I'm the highest manifestation of Ma'at, justice, divine mother, reactivated and was asleep as the missing link to free us. That was the missing part that I had to wake up. So I'm operating from my soul. I'm not operating from my conscious mind. So I have a wealth of information generalistically that I'm going to share to those worthy of it. But all we have to focus on to not be overwhelmed is our own selves with positivity, alchemizing negativity, so we don't become drowned in too much pressure of negative thoughts bombarding us. So in order to be well mentally, to satisfy whatever we are being attacked by our dark night of the soul, that's your own self-toxic energies that cannot stay in a higher vibrational environment. So that's why I call this the aeroment. The aeroment, the air we breathe, meaning it's a higher vibration of the soul, the breath. It's called ruach. Right? Ruach means soul, but it ties into what you breathe in. We breathe God. We wear God. We wear God as skin. We are God. Our hair, everything is made up of God's energies of atomic. The first weighted, weight of anything that's material that can have weight is atoms. Anything lighter than that it's etheric, it's air, it's light. That's what we are made up of. And so if you can move your hand like this, you can feel that's God. You're breathing in God, around God, wearing God, laying on God, touching on God. You understand? And the air too, that makes nothingness that we think is so nothingness as somethingness. It's the air, the consciousness. And so when we're in tune on a higher vibration, we're good. So those who are good, we don't have that type of shadow work, because living life good, being able to be conscious of being just a good person, is as you're journeying before these times of the end of days, now eternal realms. For those who are here, that get a chance to get that opportunity, like I said before, chosen ones foot the bill, that we are so seasoned to do so. We were, kind of like caught out there with those of us that were treasonous, that didn't want to be judged. So they, bamboozled us. And so they did spell work on us to keep us dumbed down. And I woke up and got all the tea. Intuitively, I can pull out the ethers, names and people that I talk to around me and in their heads, that I'm communicating with as a cell tower that taps into them. and they reported to me within me. So whatever that is, it's confidential. I don't tell people's business. Whatever that soul or whoever that those souls are, they know who they are. And it's private, and then that's confidential. That they don't need to be on blast. That's called governance. That's top notch secret. That whatever they were doing, everybody has karma as karmic. So if you do wrong in this matrix now fully recalibrated to be accurate and 100% for goodness, that it's instant karma. If anybody does wrong, thinking thoughts first with intent. So that's why I tell everybody, watch your thinking. This should help everybody now to put it into perspective that we are under a new paradigm now. That anybody who does not understand English, please tell them in Spanish and spread the word, or whatever language you do speak. Let them know positivity, the positive powers and forces of nature, Mother Nature, activated as 7D now. That's a very high caliber in vibration that is going to, like I said, with the jack, if you have an appliance or a device that you plug it into the wall to pull from that electricity and it's too much power, it fries the wires and that appliance or device can't work. That type of, frazzling out people's minds that shouldn't be here. It makes them go bazonka doodles. So stay away. Those who are divine, we're always guided. Don't, flare up anything. Walk away. Don't challenge it, too much, because that's what they're looking for. I was on a train like 2 days ago, and I had to help out this elder that looked like my dad in person. And I, stepped in and I said, I diffused the situation. I said, listen, it's a crowded train, and, we all going home. I said, let the brother, let me get here, and I'll stand next to him so that we can all be happy. And I apologize that the train, is so crowded, and I just took the blame for it and diffused the situation as a good Samaritan to not let anything escalate, because males' egos and anybody on edge or not, but looking for any type of smoke, to start something. That's how the nature is. It's showing that a lot. So try to walk away and be, nah, you got it. I don't want no smoke. I'm going through some stuff. I apologize, and apologize quickly and walk away. Take the bullet. Take the L. Humble out. Don't flare it up in their face too much about who we are, because they're just looking for anything to fight. And I said before, choose yourself. We gave instructions on what to do. If they refuse it, that's on them. The matrix will get them, because when I went outside yesterday to test it again, only a high vibration is what everybody wants, to feel safe and to be around loved ones that are in their right mind only. I love you all. 5D, no. 6D, no. 7D now. We love you.